tuberculosis scare is unfolding just outside Washington at a high school in Fairfax County, Virginia. 3 cases of TB are confirmed, and hundreds of students and staff may have been exposed.
The 3 patients were in the active phase. When they presented for care, they were ill with TB infection. They had TB pneumonia and were sick, coughing and ill, and through a variety of diagnostic ways were then identified as having an active TB infection.
CNN Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta joins us now live with more. Sanjay, how common is TB?
Well, in this country, it's not that common. It's something that we hear about more in developing countries, but, you know, there's still some 10,000 or so cases roughly a year that do occur. We often hear about them when there's some sort of scare like this or there's a cluster of cases. And I should point out, Jake, to your question, the number of cases overall has gone down over the last couple of years as well. But the concern here, as you can guess, is that this is a very contagious disease. It's a bacterial disease. It can potentially spread from person to person, and it can cause significant lung problems. And you have to screen people who may have been exposed. So, for example, in a suburb not too far from where I am now in Atlanta, they had to screen some 100 people not that long ago because of a possible exposure to someone who had active TB. There's active TB and there's what is known as latent TB, which is somebody who had been exposed in the past, had the disease in the past, but is currently not contagious. And that's an important distinction, because you gotta separate out who has active disease and who has evidence of disease but is not contagious.
And what should people listening at home do to make sure that they don't get it? There's immunization for it?
Yeah, well, there's no particular, there's different treatments for it if someone gets exposed. The main thing is if you worry that you've been exposed or somehow, or you fall into a category of people who was around somebody who potentially they know had an exposure or actually has active disease, then definitely see your doctor and you get tested and basically find out if you in fact have the bacterial infection as well. You don't want to sort of treat this what we call empirically, meaning without any evidence of disease. But if you have it and after a known exposure, then obviously you get treatment and try and get it early.
How do you get